Today is Saturday, June 26th, 2021. I'm in Fullerton, North Orange County. This little spot called Fullerton Tree Park. I've been here once before. It was years ago, probably about 6 or 7 years ago. It's a lot different looking when I came here the first time. They actually had like turf grass here and just a couple of trees planted, but planted a lot more today. I forgot the name of this street, but it's we're in the city of Fullerton. One thing I remember is a little oak grove over here at the back of the park. So we got a little miniature grove of coast live oaks over here. Very shady grove of them right here. And then just down this little hill is a residential area. So the thing about Fullerton is you do have little pockets of open space and then lots of pockets of development. Now, here we are, beautiful Quercus agrifolia, variety agrifolia, our native coast live oak. It's a tree I point out quite often when I'm hiking and wandering around in lower elevation areas. But I just remember this little grove right here. Some mostly younger, middle-aged trees here. No super extremely old ones, but there are a couple of quite mature ones in here as well, though, that have been around for probably for decades, like this guy down here. And one thing, if you're ever hiking in coast live oak territory, one thing you'll know about these trees is they produce prodigious amounts of seedlings. These trees reproduce like crazy. So you can see here, here's a sapling one right here. It's like a hedge of saplings all bordering this little mini grove right here. So the thing about these trees is they reproduce like crazy. I'm just here just trying to get a little bit of fresh air after work. You notice I haven't uploaded any new content since my June 6th hike near this one I did Wright Mountain in the Angeles San Bernardino National Forest near Wrightwood. Last couple weeks, 1 week was way too hot, and the other week it was Father's Day, and I didn't want to leave my father hanging. So last week I hung out with him, and then the week before it was just too dang hot. Honestly, it's very warm today. It's probably about 86 degrees out right now, I would say. And we're not in any extreme heat. It's definitely a little above average for this time of year. I just haven't been out the last few weeks. And I'm off tomorrow. We'll see if I make it out. It's going to be pretty warm. Actually, it's going to be, might even be hotter up in the mountains. Like Big Bear might actually be a little bit hotter than where we are here, because the mountains and interior areas are going to be in a really big heat wave, like they've been in consistently lately. So this is Fullerton Tree Park. You got a couple trails that come up and through this area, and I'll go take you down one in a little bit. First, just kind of looking around and see how much different it looks than when I was here last. Here's a more mature coast live oak right here. We're not that far from Euclid Street. Euclid is, I believe Euclid is a block over that way. I just got off of work and was cruising around looking to see if there was a spot I could pull over and poke around and get a few minutes of fresh air before going back home and likely turning on the air conditioner. So I came over here, just hanging out over here, and kind of a neat little area. An area to poke around and enjoy the sights. Now, being that we're in a very suburban slash, well, I would say more suburban area with pockets of open space, this will be the place where you'll find lots of native and exotic vegetation coexisting, seemingly. See, right here, we got a prickly pear cactus, Opuntia. I believe this is Opuntia littoralis. There are a couple of very, very, very similar prickly pears that are native to this area. Opuntia littoralis, coast prickly pear, Opuntia occidentalis, which is western prickly pear, and then I believe even Opuntia vasii, which is mesa prickly pear, is here. You might occasionally come across Opuntia auricola. We're kind of in the general area of the Coyote Hills, and in these hills we get some open space areas where you get pockets of native vegetation. So the Coyote Hills actually are a very, very good place to study your native cactus species, the native Opuntia species that are here. We could potentially have up to 4 species of Opuntia. Well, two of them are actually described as hybrids, Opuntia vasii and Opuntia occidentalis. I believe what we have there is Opuntia littoralis. I felt like the spines were round in cross section. I think round in cross section, the little spines, big spines, I believe that means Opuntia littoralis. I gotta remember to look that up again. But if you read Robert Allen and Fred M. Roberts' Wildflowers of Orange County in the Santa Ana Mountains, those two do a great job of explaining the differences between Opuntia littoralis, coast prickly pear, Opuntia vasii, mesa prickly pear, and Opuntia occidentalis, western prickly pear. So that might be a good resource. But here, a nice, peaceful, shady little spot. Actually, there are some trails that go through here. I was pointing out earlier. You can go down, and it'll take you down in a little ravine area, and you'll see more of these beautiful oak trees. In fact, I'm going to make a part 2 going down into there. So I'll see you on part 2, and I'll be down that way.